I guess we'll just call the meeting to order, and then the first order of business for you all to nominate a temporary chair for the meeting.
Second that nomination.
All righty, and the media gentleman in the back just reminded me that when you guys talk, you got to push your mics on. You can see there's a little button there, and on or off, we are recording. And I'll just, since we're having to do this a little bit unique this month, I'll again mention, we no longer have any officers due to the passing of our chair, Virgie Johnson, and then our vice chair has been replaced through new appointments to the board. And then our secretary of the board was Donna Fairchild, and she has resigned because she's relocating to Indiana. So at this point, we have no formal officers, so you can see on the agenda here, you guys can either do this every meeting. As you know, we don't meet every month. You could do this between now and June, or you guys could elect officers to serve between now and June, and then come July, we could get a new full slate. But the city has yet to put the 2 new members on this board yet. So whatever you guys want to do, and Henry, I'll defer to you.
I'll suggest that we continue with the temporary chair for the next couple of meetings and allow us to have our 2 new members from the city and have our conversation, and then look to elect a regular chairman at the June meeting.
Nothing prevents it, yeah.
Is that good? Do we need to vote on that?
No,
Is that good with everybody?
we'll just do that next month. Again, we don't meet every month for our new member there. It's business as needed, so. Sounds good. Next item is the minutes, I believe. Do you have an agenda up there?
I don't have one.
Minutes would be next item.
Have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. Okay, Steve, you take off now?
Yep. So the next item, we have a public hearing for a variance for the Arby's that's on Hustonville Road, and you should have a staff report in your packet, and I'll just refer to that. So give you all a second. It's the only item that was in your packet. There should be a staff report for the variance application. The applicant is Operating LLC. The owners are here. John and Chris Bowling are here in the audience. And again, this is for the Arby's on Hustonville Road, and it's a pretty straightforward case, and let me explain to you what's happening there. In your staff report on page 2, you can see there's the new sign chart that just went into effect in January. So Arby's has a sign, and you can see it at the top of page 2. They have an existing Arby's sign and a reader board on that sign, and they want to replace that top sign with the new corporate franchised Arby's logo, and then keep that reader board. That sign was 100% in compliance with the old zoning ordinance, but as of January 1, we've revised the zoning ordinance specifically with the sign. So you see that in the chart below. And what's really changed is we've actually bumped up the sign face, but we've made signs shorter by 6 feet. So they used to be 30 foot, now the maximum sign height is 24 feet. So the applicants are coming in to put a new can on the top of that sign, and you can see that when you turn the page, you see their kind of new Arby's logo. So to put that sign up there on top of the existing pole, they need a 5-foot variance because we've lowered the height to 24 feet. So technically, this sign is going to be shorter than the one that's there. It's just a tad bit over 29 feet. But because it's taller than the 24, they're asking for a variance. Their second option would have been to have to cut the pole shorter, which they considered, but the way the hardware and the mounting hardware is already on the top of that pole, it's easier just to get the variance, although the sign would technically be shorter. The new logo, the face complies with our rules, the new Arby's logo. So really, that's all we're doing today is, the request is to get a 5-foot variance to have the sign be 29 foot high with the new can on the top of it. Again, the old sign was was 30 foot, and the old sign face was about 104 square feet, and this one's about 113, and it's still below what we allow as a maximum sign face. So putting the sign up there is fine, it's the height that they're asking the variance for.
Okay, does anybody else have anything to say, any discussion or anything?
And I'll be glad to answer any questions you guys might have.
Question I would have, why wouldn't that grandfather in,
Be-
even less height?
Because they're not putting the same sign up there. The only, to be
Put it
not.
on the same pole?
Well, but the sign's changing. The way we look at that is, for signage, if you have an existing sign out here and you're popping the panels out, and putting one in, that's grandfathered in, you can just replace those panels back and forth, change the name over and over. But since the new rules put a cap on the height, the fact that they're taking the old sign down and putting a new sign up, and it's actually changing in size, requires them to come in compliance with the zoning ordinance. So they need the variance. Had they used the old frame, if you look at again, their document, if you see the RB sign on the right, if they just took that panel out, that plexiglass, and popped a new one in, they'd been fine. But as you can see, this is a brand-new can, different shape. So they're basically taking that piece off and putting a new one up, and that requires compliance with the zoning ordinance. It's not grandfathered in for the height and the size when you're making a change. If they didn't change it, it'd stay grandfathered in, but they're changing it.
Okay. Any more discussion?
And the applicant's here, if you guys, anything you need to add, or?
I yield to Chris.
I know you want to talk.
No.
So this sign is actually shorter than what the existing sign is.
Yeah. And the way we measure it, again, you can see their sign company did this. The way we measure the signs, we draw a box around the sign. But it's hard to see over there on the right-hand side at the bottom, or in the middle, they kind of showed you 3 ways they measured it. But the way we measure is we draw a box around the entire frame. That's where the 113 square foot, but they showed you in those 3 little boxes with the new logo, if you just traced around the shape, or if you did it in panels, how that would come out. But it's definitely smaller than we allow. That includes the top sign and the reader board is well below our maximum sign face. It's just taller, but shorter than the old one.
Is there a cost variable on that? Do they have to pay an additional cost for that sign?
I'm
I mean,
sure,
To the city?
they have to get a permit to put the new sign up too, yes. So a sign permit's $75, but the real cost is the sign, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
sure it is
guarantee
also,
the sign wasn't cheap, and that's something they chose to do through their
I didn't know
franchisee.
if we were extorting them on the sign cost.
It's a new sign, you gotta get a permit to put the sign up.
Okay, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to approve the variance.
Do we have a second?
Second motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Hey, the only other thing I have is,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you
welcome.
guys.
If I could briefly say that this is basically corporate doing this, all the franchisees have to comply. Thank you all.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
And I would think it would be extra cost to you if you had to redesign a sign
The pole.
rather than buy one from the franchise.
Yeah. Last thing I had is, some of you got a book, I don't, Dan or Mike, we got new zoning ordinance. If you want one, we've got them here for you. This is the brand-new ordinance that went into effect. If you don't need it, we'll use it elsewhere, but if you need it, there's a book for you guys to grab before you leave. That's all I have.
That's all you have? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second? All in favor? Adjourn.